right, at 6, our big story this morning. As you're just waking up, we are already starting to see the impacts that President Donald Trump's tariffs are having across the globe.
Reciprocal tariffs against more than 60 countries sent markets tumbling in Asia. The president claims the new plan will revamp American manufacturing.
And we're breaking down all the overnight developments for you. Your reporter, Roger Susanna, now joins us live in Wallingford with how one of the biggest changes could actually increase the price of buying or fixing your car. Break it down for us, Roger.
Yeah, Nicole, can you imagine if you were a car dealer, what it's like to wake up this morning really in a completely different economic reality? That is the situation for the dealers that work here on North Colony Road and everywhere else. The bottom line is the price of every new car will likely shoot up substantially because of these new tariffs. At exactly 12:01 this morning, President Trump issued a big old 25% tax on every single vehicle that is shipped into America. That means the price of tens of millions of cars will likely spike because experts warn that manufacturers will likely pass cost increases directly to customers. You'll probably see the price of foreign-made cars jump up first, but a planned tariff next month on automotive parts means even cars built here in the U.S. will get more expensive probably because all American cars, according to CVS, actually use foreign parts. That could mean fixing your current car also goes up, as well as the price of insurance. The vehicle taxes are just one small piece of Trump's trade overhaul right now. The president is taxing all countries that export goods to the U.S., and dozens of nations will also face additional reciprocal tariffs starting at half of what each country is taxing America. That's in addition to a 10% baseline tariff. Trump argues the moves will be good for our economy long term, but experts warn families will have to shell out a lot more money because of rising prices.
It's thousands of dollars. We're talking at least 2% of the median household income that this will cost American households.
Now, one of the big reasons why this car tariff is getting so much blowback is because the prices for new cars in America right now are already near record highs. And again, those numbers will likely go up, possibly way up. Reporting live this morning in Wallingford, I'm your reporter, Roger Suzanne, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Roger, thank you.
I did everything right. I went to a great college, had great grades, had a great major. I even graduated with over $500,000 in sales. Pretty crazy for a college student, but that's not good enough to get me a job. I've been applying for jobs for 4 months full time, and thankfully I've had my bills covered because I worked, but I've been doing it full time and haven't gotten a single offer. But what's worse than these job rejections that I'm getting is my family's rejection. You know, nobody understands this problem other than the people who are dealing with it right now. And my parents just think I'm lazy every single day that I don't have a job. And my prayers and my thoughts go out to everybody that's dealing with this problem because I don't know if I can deal with it for another day. I'm about to throw my degree in the trash and just start a business because getting a job ain't shit.
Bro, the job market's cooked, nigga, the economy's cooked, everything fried, bro. I'm post-grad, right? I graduated at 24, right? I know what day it is now. Nigga. It's damn near a year of me trying to find a job. I thought that I was safe because I fly planes, right? I don't fly the airline. Anyway, I fly planes. Nigga, nobody's hiring. Everybody's posting jobs, nobody's hiring. It don't make sense. Bro, I went to this one spot, right? I'm so flexible. I will work and fly planes in any state, any place. I went to Hawaii, right? To Hawaii to apply to a job. She says, you know what? I decided, white woman, by the way, white woman. She said, I decided I only want to hire locals. This bitch is from Nebraska. The fine young lady is from Nebraska. What do we mean locals? You're not local. What are you talking about? Local? So I lied. Actually, I live here. I don't. But anything to get a job, please get hire me. I said, I live here. She said, mind you, I'm in California at the time. She's like, okay, well, can you fly here tomorrow? I got the bag. Yes. First flight. Red eye. I said, yes. She said, oh, well, I wasn't expecting that. Exactly. You wasn't expecting that. Nigga, expect the unexpected. So she was like, okay. Did you start making up shit, right? Start making up stuff. Oh, well, actually, we only have a part-time position. Hire me. Fuck it. I'll work. Nigga, I work for free. Fuck it. So she told me, so we only got a part-time position. I said, okay, cool. Bet. I'll pull up. Why not?
All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rokakodash. I want to give double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. This is your fellow servant, Rokalia from the GMS Orlando camp, coming at you with another impromptu lesson. All right, tonight's lesson is entitled, Take No Thought for Your Life, because life itself is getting ready to change. All right, and as you've seen from those videos, life for the average Babylonian is getting ready to change drastically. Matter of fact, it's getting ready to take a deep dive into chaos due to the economic strain that Trump has facilitated through these tariffs. And as the costs continue to go up, one thing's for sure, the checks are going to remain the same. And as you've seen from the video, jobs are becoming harder to find, which is a terrible mixture. It's a mixture of chaos, but it's beautiful because these are the very same times that the Lord prophesied of aforetime. And now we're starting to experience the downfall of America, Babylon the Great, also the while the Lord is raising up the kingdom, all right, through the remnant. And I just had a couple of precepts I wanted to get into, as an exhortation, as it were, to you elect Akim and Akwaf out there. All right, that, as we live through these chaotic and changing times, to remember what Yahweh Shai said. Remember what Yahweh Shai said, take no thought for your life. All right, because the lives of the elect have already been accounted for. Lord willing, what that number. All right, and the Lord has already stored up the faith, the nourishment, the provisions, that the elect need to endure to the end. The victory has already been gotten through the Spirit. It just has to play out at this point. But I'm going to start here in Matthew 6. And let's get verse 25. It says, Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body more than raiment? Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? And that's Yahweh Shai asking the question, are we not much better than the birds that the Lord feeds every day? And when you look at the Lord's creation, it's really a perfect example of complete faith. When you look at the birds, when you look at squirrels or any animal, in the Lord's creation, they're a perfect example of faith because each and every one of them doesn't stress about how they're going to eat. They don't stress about where they're going to lay their head down to sleep. They don't stress about, external things. They wake up and they go about their purpose. And through the Spirit, that's the type of faith that we're striving to achieve. Complete faith in Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And the Lord is working on that with us through the different trials and tribulations that we're getting put through on a daily basis. All right, the Lord is working that perfect faith into us through the different trials that we face. That complete trust and reliance on Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Is being perfected as we speak. Like it says in Ephesians, the 4th chapter. But it says, which of you by taking thought can add 1 cubit to his nature? And why that's cool. It says, which of you by taking thought can add 1 cubit to his nature? And why take ye thought for raiment? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow, they toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Wherefore, if the Heavenly Father so clothed the grass of the field, which today is and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall he not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? Therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or wherewithal shall we be clothed? And these are going to be the questions that saturate the earth, especially Babylon here in these latter days. Questions are going to saturate the planet, man. What's going on? How are we going to eat? How are we going to do this? How are we going to live? How are we going to clothe ourselves? But through the Spirit, we've already received the answers to these questions by way of this truth being revealed unto us, man. That's why it says in Isaiah 33:6 that wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of our time, and the faith let me just get it instead of quoting it. This is Isaiah chapter 33 In verse 6, it says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. All right. And we've already received the fear of the Lord, which is our treasure. We've already received the answers. We've received wisdom. All right. We've received the faith of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, which is something that's going to be highly sought after here in these latter days. All right. People are going to seek after the wisdom of the Lord. They're going to seek after these answers that we possess through the Spirit. We know how we're going to be clothed. We know what's going on, why it's happening, who's bringing it. We know how we're going to eat and how we're going to drink. It's all going to be through the Spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the mercy of the Lord, man. Lord willing, we receive that mercy. Lord willing, we're the elect. But we know we have the answers to these questions. We don't have to take thought for our life. The Lord has already taken account for each and every one of the lives of the elect. Lord willing, we're that number, man. It says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. People are going to seek heavily after this treasure that we possess. This treasure in earthen vessels, like he says in 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter. Read 2 Ezra, the 5th chapter. How they going to seek to and fro for wisdom. Amos, what's the 9th chapter, the 8th chapter, so like 8th chapter, starting at the 11th verse. How they going to seek after wisdom. Going from sea to sea. Seeking for the answers that the Lord has already bestowed upon us, man. We have a great gift in the form of this faith, this truth. It says back in Matthew 6, therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or wherewithal shall we be clothed? For after all these things do the Gentiles seek. For your heavenly Father knoweth that you have need of all these things. And that's a great comfort. Because the Lord already know what we need. Just like a father does his son, or a mother her kids. You already know what your kids need, man. They need clothes and shoes for school, or to go out or to play. They need different provisions as they grow up. They need food, a roof over their head. You already know what they need before they even ask for it. Take it back to, that wicked ass holiday in the world, Christmas. A lot of the times your parents already knew what you need or what you wanted. They was just waiting on you. They was just acting like, what I'm saying? They was acting like, they were acting oblivious, but they already knew what you needed, man. The Heavenly Father he's much greater than that though, man. He already knows what we need here in these latter days. He knows the type of faith it's going to take to endure. He knows what type of spirit it's going to take to endure. The type of integrity, the level of integrity, the level of wisdom and knowledge is going to take to overcome and endure in these latter days. And those provisions have already been stored up for the elect. The battle has already been won. The Elder Yashawama went into a beautiful lesson on that I think it was last year, man. The battle has already been won. The victory has already been gotten through the Spirit. It just has to play out in our time. And that's going to be a hell of a testimony for the elect, in the world to come. That testimony of mercy and deliverance, as they went through these chaotic and changing times, man. Going on, it says, but seek ye first the kingdom of the Heavenly Father and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. All right, so what is the Lord saying? Keep the main thing, and everything else is going to be added unto you, basically. Seek the kingdom, keep the main thing, and everything else is going to be added unto you. Continue to do what the Lord purposed for us to do, all right, which is to prophesy the downfall of America, Babylon the Great. All right, go into prophecy, feed the Lord's sheep, go out in highways and byways. All right, be a productive member of the body, and so on and so forth. All right, continue to keep the main thing, and the Lord is going to add everything else that we need, on the back end. And it's like the Lord's going to provide everything else we need on the back end. It says, take therefore no thought for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. We got to focus on every day. Getting through the day, man. There are different challenges and different lessons that are presented to us every day. And if you focus and worried about tomorrow, the problems of today, first and foremost, are going to go unchecked. And it's going to come down like a domino effect eventually. And then you're missing out on the lessons that the Lord is teaching, the character builders, the faith boosters. You're missing out on everything that the Lord is doing to develop you into that perfect man. So in Ephesians, the 4th chapter. But I had another one, and then I'm going to close it out. This is one of my favorites in Psalms 46 and verse 10. It says, "Be still and know that I am power. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth." And when you get this word for be still, Strong's 7503 Rapah, it says, to idle, to let alone, to slack, to slay, to be still, not be slothful. Let's get it. I'm going to get the main one I want. It says, right, to sink, to relax. All right, that's the main one. Relax, man. Relax. The Lord has everything in control. You know, it's like faith is a lot like being on a lazy river. You know, the best way to get the best enjoyment out of it, you know, and the best way to utilize the lazy river is just to lay back. Lay back and let it take its course. And eventually you'll end up at the finish line. You know, but lay back and relax. You know, relax. You know, the Lord has this. You know, as we go through these chaotic times and, you know, this economic strain affects all of us. You know, the Lord has everything under control. Worse things are going to happen. All right, famine, pestilence, war. All right, the MOTB, the hour of temptation. All right. Many more things are getting ready to happen, you know, as we continue to experience the downfall of America, Babylon the Great. You know, and through it all, the Lord has us. You know, through it all, the Lord has us. Let me get this last one. I'm going to close it out. This is Job 5:19. It says, "He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh," which is a heavy spirit to have in that time. "Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast of the earth, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beast of the field shall be at peace with thee. And thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit thy habitation and shalt not sin. Thou shalt know also that thy seed shall be great, and thine offspring as the grass of the earth. Thou shalt come to thy grave in a full age, like as the stock of the corn cometh in the season. Lo, this we have searched it, so it is. Hear it, and know thou it for thy good." All right, the Lord said, know it for your good. All right, know that the Lord is going to protect and guide you for your good. Keeping that in mind is for our benefit, for our comfort. You know? But hey, you know, that's all I have. Lord, wants to edify to you elect. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rokakudash, and the honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Grace and peace to you elect around the 4 winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses.